Hey, welcome back to the OC20. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Seth.
The OC20 is our mini-series where we rewatch and break down the early 2000s teen drama, The OC. Over the next 5 weeks, Seth and I will be discussing Season 3.
This is my first time watching the show.
Yes, and this is like my millionth rewatch. This season, we're talking behind-the-scenes tea, who Seth thinks is the undisputed MVP, the new faces shaking up the cast, and of course, the iconic finale that everyone remembers.
Don't forget, my favorite storyline this season, Sandy Cohen becoming Caleb Nickel.
Right. That is insane. I'm still processing that.
Also, quick warning, there will be spoilers. Like, everything is spoiled. So if you haven't watched Season 3, go binge it and then come back. I watched this in 2 days. You can do it too.
All right, let's dive in.
I rewatched the third season in preparation for us.
The whole third season?
Yeah, and I made notes as I was watching.
Oh my gosh.
In my podcasting notebook.
Mike, I should send you my whole list of notes.
You should, because they are so entertaining to read Seth's thoughts, especially when they were coming in live. I was like, oh my gosh, this is gold.
Did you see the ending happen? Like, were you shocked? I'm assuming there's a whole episode on this, but like, did you sense it at all? Were you caught off guard? Were you?
By what?
The finale. What do you mean by what? Like, I'm sorry.
We're starting off real hot already. I'm going to flip a table.
Like, you mean throw
sorry.
a patio chair into the
right? Yeah,
into the pool?
That was another. Going back to season 2, I remember Michelle. A big question that she had was, "What did you think about Marissa throwing the patio furniture into the pool?" And I was like, "That didn't even register with me. What do you mean? I don't know."
The best,
like one of the most iconic Marissa scenes, but
right.
No big deal. No big deal.
As fans, I know I'm not reacting to any of the stuff that I'm supposed to be reacting to, so I apologize. But was I shocked? Not really. I was kind of surprised in the way in which they did it, that it was so big and dramatic with Ryan like carrying her, and yeah. Hello, everybody. Spoilers for the last episode.
Yes, hello. We're talking about all the new faces of season 3 with our friend Mike. Mike, hello.
Hello.
Welcome. Yeah, Mike was asking Seth's thoughts and opinions on the finale of this season, in which Seth responded, shocked about what? What do you mean? Wait, what happened this season?
I know what happened this season. There was a really big deal going down at the Newport Group.
No.
For the revitalization of an entire neighborhood.
I didn't. You guys gave me the choice, and I was like, definitely do not want to talk about the hospital. I do not want to spend 5 minutes talking about that plot. No, next.
Nobody jumped on that episode. Are we surprised, Mike?
Surprised.
No, but Seth is like, oh, that's actually like one of my favorite storylines. I was like, what?
That's definitely.
All right, well, on this episode, we're going to talk about the new faces of the season. Some were more liked than others. Mike, we discussed Johnny and Volchuk last episode when we talked about Marissa, but Johnny and Volchuk are definitely hot topic discussions for season 3. So I'd love to get your take, and you can share them with Seth, of course.
So Johnny, he's a sad sack. I think he's the most unlikable probably in all of the OC. I think so. I feel like he's just not like his whole plot and like, you know, I also don't like Taylor Townsend, so she also tops the list. Who we'll talk about a little later. We're gonna get to that later because Taylor's on the top. She's on the docket. We'll get to her. She'll have her moment, and
I can't support Johnny being more disliked than Ryan's brother.
Trey. Okay, fine.
But for story-wise, though.
Story-wise,
I think that Trey might be the most evil person.
Yes, but like, and unredeemable 100%. But like, that ending, though, is so good.
But he's not as annoying as Johnny.
Yes. Like, Johnny's just like a sad sack, and you're, woe is me.
Right, but in terms of like acts committed, crimes, and evil, I think that Trey we're talking two different leagues.
Yes.
Where like Volchek and Trey are kind of like, and Oliver, I guess. Each season has
Oliver's
like
the best. We love we're a love Oliver here. Okay, we hold space for
I guess
Oliver.
I mean like in terms of violence against the life of Marissa Cooper,
Mhm.
there's
Yeah.
like an actual evil person each season,
But
and then there's like the guy that you're like, oh, this guy sucks.
But this makes and I'll get to this on Volchek because Volchek's misunderstood. And he's one of my favorites actually into this season. Like I
You are
messaged
just
Michelle.
like husband,
Yeah,
Mike.
I was like,
I can't.
what husband's been saying is so true because. But we'll get Johnny. But at least with with Oliver, he just had he had mental health issues. Like this was not. He wasn't acting. That wasn't his like real self-acting.
No.
Whereas
diagnosis is not an excuse. For poor behavior.
It's not. But
yeah,
it's at least yes. And like Trey started off good, like everything, like he's sure he stole a car with Ryan, but we'll forget all that. That was
he is the Trey is the overarching villain of the entire show because he kicks off Ryan and then he kicks off Marissa's downward spiral. Like he is the main villain of Marissa's life is Trey. Without Trey, there is no spiraling into a relationship with Volchek, which eventually leads to her demise.
I think it's actually Julie Cooper.
Oh,
and the Julie Cooper Marissa, which Julie Cooper, we love Julie Cooper, and you'll more on as you further watch the series, you'll
neutered Julie Cooper in this season, where last season she went from being a murderous, evil person to this season. She's like, you know what? Actually, I'm not a criminal anymore.
She's been humbled.
But like because her friction, like look at season 2, like Marissa did things like Olivia Wilde, Alex asked like, "Are you?" just with me to piss your mom off or like, so a lot of Marissa's actions were to go against her mom. Like her mom didn't want her to be with Ryan in the first place and was forcing her on Luke, So Julie Cooper also, and then also Jimmy Cooper probably also led to Marissa's like shitty life too. Cause
but I agree with you, Johnny, probably the weakest link character. And I told Seth this too. The writers also agree, like, they kind of regret the whole Johnny of it all. So, and it has nothing against Ryan Donahue, who portrayed Johnny. It just, it didn't work. And it also, not only did it not work, it just grew and grew and grew and spiraled and spiraled and spiraled, where Johnny dies and we're still talking about Johnny. So, it was the gift that keeps on giving that nobody wanted.
Right.
I will remember the episode. The cliffhanger, episode 14, is ingrained in my head. Like because I know episode 12 is the sister act where Kaitlin Cooper comes, and then episode 14 is the cliffhanger. Those are like, I know the titles, I know where they occur, and I remember the cliffhanger going on MSN after talking to my friends about it and being like, oh, like what a double meaning of the word the cliffhanger, because like he was on a cliff and like also a cliffhanger of like what happened.
Okay, but Mike, are you familiar with the Sylvester Stallone film Cliffhanger?
I know of it, but I haven't seen it.
Because for me watching this, almost every episode is named after a film. And so as I'm watching the Sister Act, I'm like, oh, I wonder when they're going to dress up as nuns and pretend to sing. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking for clues in the title, and then there are almost no clues to the storyline. It's just like, hey, there's a cliff. Let's call it Cliffhanger.
All right, but let's stay on Newport Union. And since Johnny was a student there, so we also bring in his best friend, Chili, who we're introduced to, and Casey, his girlfriend. What'd you guys think of these new characters? And then that led to, obviously, the rival of Volchek.
I hate them.
You hate Chili, and you
Chili?
hate Chili, yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was Windy or Spiky.
You kept calling him, like, all the names that Seth had for Chili in our shared note, and I was like, I think you're talking about Chili, but it's very funny. It was very funny.
I hate it. To me, again, like, to me, this was just a reboot of season 1, but like with Marissa maybe in the summer position. Although you said that you thought she was still in the Marissa position.
And also the Ryan, because that's what the writers wrote. They're like, she would be the Ryan of
that doesn't make any sense, because Johnny is already the Ryan. And
no, Johnny's not the Ryan. Right,
Well,
John.
to me, Johnny was the Ryan because Johnny had a troubled past. He had beat his dad with a baseball bat.
Yeah, but he also needs saving.
Yes, but he's also moody. You know, like just one for one. Johnny is Ryan, Chili is Seth. They're best friends, right? So one of them has to be the other. Seth isn't best friends with Summer or Marissa, right?
But they're from two different worlds. Marissa
and then you have two girls who would be Summer and Marissa. So I hated it though. I really hated it. And what was the girl's name?
Casey.
I don't remember a thing about it. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's pretty
Casey
quick.
comes and goes. She cheats with Volchek, right? And that kicks off the whole thing.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That was my thing. Like, why did Casey? Like, I feel like she could have been around longer. And how come she wasn't there when Johnny got hit? You think she would kind of, when Johnny got hit with the car, you think she would kind of try to like get back in, like, you know, like at least be nice? Or when he died, you think they would at least like have her somewhere shown?
Maybe she was, and she's just so forgettable that we. It's like the Mandela effect. You don't realize Casey's actually in every scene of this season, and you're just like, where is she? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
If she would have cheated with anyone, like if it was anyone else but Volchuk, I think it would have been okay. But the fact, and because, you know, she said her like defense was she kind of cheated before he did with Marissa. Like he kind of saw where it was going with Marissa, but Marissa was a stranger, whereas Volchuk and Johnny had history.
Right.
So I think if it was a random person at the party, it wouldn't be so like, I mean, it would still be, you know what I mean? Like it would, the Johnny thing, like that made it personal. And that was kind of the low blow move for her. But, she was kind of short. Like she was only really around for what, like 4 episodes?
Very short. Very short. To tie in Johnny's cousin, Sadie.
Oh.
Played by Nikki Reed.
Yeah. Okay.
What did we think about Sadie? Sadie comes in after Johnny dies, and she forms a quick relationship with Ryan.
It's like creating the most unnecessary connections between characters who would and should never meet in order to get Ryan to punch somebody. It's like, how can we make the most convoluted scenario ever that ends up with Ryan getting into a fight?
I thought she was underused. Like, I think she couldn't have been around I kind of liked her. Like, though it was kind of it was different, right? Like, she was a different character. And I feel like she could have been around a little longer and used a bit more, but she was also quick. Like, they kind of were really like flushing through things here quickly.
To me, Sadie was like the Teresa of this season. It's like, oh, here comes someone from the outside world that's going to make Ryan have a real responsibility and have, you know, and she's gone.
What's crazy about Nikki Reed coming onto this show is obviously we also have Cam Gigante, who plays Volchuk, and then we had Jackson Rathbone, who played Justin, Caitlin's boyfriend. But the thing about these 3 actors is they all went on to be in Twilight in 2008.
Oh, okay.
And so as a Twilight fan, you're like, whoa.
Right. Mike, are you a Twilight fan?
No, I watched it with the Total Betty. Did we watch the second one? I think I missed the first one.
Yes,
I watched the first one,
second one
with my friends, and I was like, "Oh, this is bad." I did not know how bad.
Yeah, but like so good though, right? It's
Kristen Stewart's acting. I just can't.
Okay, cut the show. I'm out. Stop.
It's just her face. Stop. Like it's always the same. You know.
What do you want her to be? Jim Carrey in Twilight?
From people who read the book told me that she acted like that's how Bella is portrayed in the book. So she did.
Right. So she's a fantastic actor.
Yeah. Yeah. We're covering Twilight in October because Seth has never seen all of the movies. You've only seen the first one.
I've seen the beginning, the second one, and then I've seen the last 30 minutes of the last one.
The last one's so good.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff in between that I only know kind of peripherally, but yeah.
When we cover Twilight in October, it's going to feel like, for me, a giant hug. It's going to be so fun. We're going to do all of them. Yeah. Okay, so let's go into Taylor Townsend because she becomes a main player this season. And Mike is shaking his head, which surprises me. And obviously we're not going to talk spoilers here, but Mike, you've seen the whole series.
know.
So this concerns me. But Seth, tell us about your feelings on Taylor Townsend.
Well, I mean, I think to talk about Taylor Townsend, we have to talk about Dean Hess.
We can start with Dean Hess, sure.
Taylor is introduced as a new evil duo along with Dean Hess. And that being her introduction to where we end up, it's like they had like a catch-all bin in the writer's room with Taylor's face on it. And they said, we need a character to do X, Y, and Z this season. Let's just have Taylor do it. And someone would say, but wait, 3 episodes ago, she was a completely different person. And they said, doesn't matter. New character, can't afford a new actor. Taylor's just going to be anything and everything that we need this season. And so for her to start out as this like sinister, I mean, really serious. And I know for you guys, you always talk about in teen dramas that, students are always hooking up with teachers. But to me, it's still incredibly shocking. And I'm like, I can't believe that they're doing this on TV.
Yeah.
Like this is really wild and inappropriate. So for Taylor to be introduced this way, it's insane to where she ends up.
Yeah. I mean, Taylor, though, she's actually existed in this world the entire time.
That's one of the things I don't like when they oh, this person's been here since day one. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
And even the comments when she said, oh yeah, I was there for the coffee cart. You didn't see me or whatever. No, Taylor, you weren't. You didn't have to comment on that you were there.
Right.
You weren't, just whatever.
Right. Yeah, they're trying to retroactively. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think if we added in another new student to this season, it would have felt even more off-putting because we just created a whole new high school crew, right? So for Taylor to just always been there,
but it's gaslighting
that works
because
for
they
me.
are introducing a new. They're trying to have their cake and eat it too. They're like, here's this new person that you have to learn about, but also they've always been there.
Okay, so Taylor, we're introduced to her. She's having an affair with Dean Hess. Where we end up with her and what we learn about her, and we meet her mother as well, and how she just really wants to be included, and she has I don't know, it's a tense home life. To me, it makes sense that she was fooling around with Dean Hess. I'm not excusing it, but
what do you think happened first, though? Dean Hess coming to Harbor or Taylor and Dean? Do you think they were, because he was brand new, it was kind of really quickly that they were in. Do you think they were in something before and Veronica had a pull and brought him into Harbor?
What a fanfic.
Wow.
No, go ahead and write that.
Because think about it. It was from episode 1, but he just came. So how did they even meet when it was kind of still summertime?
Right.
I think they met on school property.
Okay.
And
I think Taylor's hanging out at the school over summer, getting ready.
You think?
For activities. Yeah, I think so. Especially with all the Marissa. She's waiting to strike her opportunity.
She is, right. She wants to be social
Plus
chair
her home life
and
sucks.
all of that.
So
True.
Mike, I think that we could write this lost episode. Season 3, episode 00 is the summer of Taylor and Dean Hess.
Yeah. I never thought of it like that. But Mike, what do you have against Taylor? Is it because she existed all the whole time in the background and you don't like that?
They were
do you not like her
trying
character?
to replace they needed it's really hard to
I know.
But do you know where I'm kind of going? It's
I do. We were planting seeds very early. I mean, I think the writers starting out didn't realize where this character was going. So you might be right in that, Seth, with this catch-all bin. It's just Autumn Reeser was such a good actor to work with. She's the one who portrayed Taylor Townsend. And they realized how comedic she could be. And she was, she was a light and a bright spot for season 3.
Yeah.
Seth is making a face. It's very disapproving.
Person-wise, she's because in that book they talked about how kind of what you were saying, how she was the light of season 3, and she walked onto the set, how it was. But it's just
behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes stuff. There was stuff in the book,
Yeah.
but it's just kind of they almost made us want to kind of how Seth said, she was one way at the start and then she then how she was like going after Seth, but then she was the reason why his two of his three only friends got like kicked out, but then she was still trying. It was just, I didn't like her. She just rubbed me the wrong way.
So we start with, we need a character who's having an affair and trying to do a hostile takeover of Marissa's life. That's version 1. Now we need a character who actually, it turns out, is just randomly really into martial arts movies that no one has ever heard of. Now we really need for one of the teenage characters to be into the Kama Sutra. And now we need for a character to be comically ridiculous about knowing a K-pop music famous celebrity and screaming really loud when the money's missing. Like,
but what's wrong with the character being layered?
There's a difference.
We get to
between
know her
layers
over time.
and betraying a character's established character because you need someone to do something. And that's what, like, she's a utility player, and knowing that about her behind the scenes, maybe she started out one way and they were like, let's keep her around. We know that television seasons aren't always written ahead of time, right? They're writing as they're going, they're filming, and decisions are being made. And if everyone was so miserable and this actor was like really cool and fun, maybe they were like, hey, let's plug her into somewhere else. And that's actually great, and that's nice to hear, because apparently this was a horrible production for everybody. So that's nice. But like, in terms of a character, no, it's a betrayal. Like, I think it's a betrayal of her character.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's bestie here. What about Luke? Was Luke a betrayal?
No, Luke was fine because they didn't keep doing it. Like, imagine if in season 1, Ryan starts out in prison and he's a genius. And then 6 episodes later, it also turns out that he is a master Irish step dancer, and it's just never been mentioned before. And then 5 episodes later, it turns out he's really into monster truck rallies, and you just never heard about that before, but it turns out that he really is into that. And then by the end of the season, he's a close-up magician, and we never knew that. It's insane. Like, you can't do that.
And like Luke, sure, he was motivated first because he thought he saw something happen between Ryan and Marissa, and he was dating Marissa. So his act towards Ryan was, "What the hell are you? Why are you always with my girlfriend?" Even though sure he was cheating with Holly, but you know what? We'll just turn blind eye to that. And then his real change, though. What
Luke can do no wrong.
What beat him down was his whole dad thing, and then that when everyone found that made him low on the totem pole in high school. But then who was there? They were there to pick him up. But Taylor didn't fall. She didn't have a fall down for them to pick her up. She just started hot, and then just because she was just jealous of Marissa. She makes comments that like she did most of the things anyway but
which I actually believe, because like Marissa seems more like a popular figurehead than someone who's like putting in all the really hard work.
She's a stunt cast.
She's out partying and burning down houses and stuff.
Seth, you wrote a comment about how when Taylor says she's going to be part of the Fab Five, and you did not like that because you wrote in all caps, like the only one who's part of the Fab Five would be Luke.
Correct. Absolutely. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Like, for Michelle, I feel bad because you've got 2 Taylor haters teaming
Don't
up
feel
against
bad.
you.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts when the series is over.
Yeah. I don't accept Taylor as part of the core 4, as part of the Fab 5. There is no Fab 5. There's been more interesting side characters. So for her to just kind of wiggle in, no, I don't. I think it would be nice for it more to be like Summer and Taylor are friends. Kind of like how Teresa and Ryan are friends. Teresa doesn't then like put an arm around Seth and say, "Wow, look at us. We're the Fab 5 now." You'd be like, what are you talking about? Get out of here.
Or like Anna. Anna is also high.
Or like
She's
Anna.
high up from, I love Anna.
And yeah,
Stern,
right. Going back to season 1, Anna was actually friends with all of them and interacting with all of them. I sympathize with Taylor. I think the first time that you see her mom hates her, basically, that was a good bit of writing, acting, pacing, and it does give you pause because her and Dean Hess, we're spending so much time on them. Taylor and Dean Hess is Pretty Little Liars level.
Yes, it is. Yes.
And in fact, I thought that Dean Hess was exactly like the cop from
Wilden.
It was as if Wilden walked from one show into another. So that's the level of like ridiculousness that those two characters are. So for them to be able to pull us back with that first interaction, I thought that was really great. But it doesn't mean I want her around. And it doesn't mean that I buy her as a sexpert. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if they just removed one of the things about Taylor, then it would be okay. Like, that is a good point. So, like, they did really kind of make her fit. They had these, like, okay, we need to just put someone into this, who's this role and this role. Whereas maybe if the beginning part didn't happen, then she probably would have been okay.
Or maybe if she was a little bit more like, it was more like she was being taken advantage of by Dean Hess. And of course we know that dude is in a position of power. He's way older than her. And so he was taking advantage of her any way that you slice it.
Yeah.
But the way that she's painted is so like sinister and that she's in on it. And so if it was more,
or could you say like, if maybe like if they were just talking, but if she maybe said how, oh, she really wants to be social, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, well, if you want all this to happen, then like, if he kind of used that, like, well, you know, I can make this happen, but I need something
if
from
it
you.
was handled differently, it's too much, too many arcs in one season for a side character.
Well, another bright spot that the writers consider, and in addition to this season, was Kaitlin Cooper.
Yes.
I
What?
I don't know about
played
that.
Played by Willa Holland. So let me hear, Seth. What did we think of Minnie Coop coming back? Not played by Shailene Woodley, who originally played her.
Right.
Season 1.
I don't know. Bright spot. I mean, sure. Behind the scenes, sure. I didn't need any of this Kaitlin Cooper stuff. I didn't like any of the trailer stuff with Julie.
Mike is gasping and holding his heart.
Is what humbled you. Like you, that is what changed Julie Cooper and humbled her. Like once you finish the series, you'll be like, like every season I think is like someone's like growth, and season, not spoiled, but season 4 is really Julie and someone else's, where I won't, but like really Julie see, like you really see, and like 3 is like the transition of Julie you see from her starting to get humbled, but like season 4 is really like Julie Cooper is the best.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, I know that Julie comes from very humble beginnings. Right?
Riverside.
He said I was from Riverside. Julie, you are from Riverside.
You are from Riverside.
And so story-wise, I understand the trailer thing, but then there's ways of doing the trailer thing. And the way they decide to do it is that the moment that Julie Cooper walks through the trailer door, she is cooking grits. She's wearing Daisy Dukes. She's talking about like eating squirrels. She's watching NASCAR. It is insane. And I would say it is offensive. I think it's actually offensive.
Yeah.
How they say, here's a story about rich people from California. And if you took this person out of their environment, they would revert to these stereotypes. Hiya, wowie, ay caramba. Pretty wild.
Can you tie in Kaitlin though?
Well, I guess to me, like, Kaitlin just fits into that time period of the season where I was like, I don't know what they're doing. Kaitlin being a little stinker, I think is fine. I already said on a previous episode that the whole thing with Marissa at Caitlin's college is one of my favorite moments of the season because it's just so stupid. But Kaitlin overall, you could remove her from this and I don't care.
Mike, how do you feel about
I like
Kaitlin?
I think she was a great addition, and I don't know, Seth, the reason why they like recast her was because Shailene Woodley wasn't as developed as Willa Holland, so that's why it's a different actor, not because Shailene Woodley didn't want to do it.
Right.
But I kind of like how I like her acting. I like her portrayal as Kaitlin, and I thought it was good. I like that she was the kind of pot stirrer, both metaphorically and literally. But I found that she was kind of mature. Like she was both really immature and mature at the same times. Like there were some things where she was kind of really wise. Like she knew everything about the whole Marissa, and she knew who Marissa is as a person, and saw it. And then she stirred the pot and caused shit. But she was also, a young teenager, a little sister. That's kind of what you do. But
Right.
she was good. Like she knew who she was, and she knew her role. And she was always in Marissa's shadow. Like she kind of says how that's why she wants to come back.
Yeah.
Because now Marissa's gone. Which
Right.
I have a question for you. You can either answer it now, Seth, or at the end. But of all these new characters, who would you like to see continue on, and who would you not like? Who would you care we never see again? I can let you marinate.
Well, I mean, story-wise, of course, to me, and this is so stupid because I'm making a prediction, and you guys will. I'm gonna not watch you guys' face as I say this. Every first episode is like, oh, here's all this crazy stuff. Oh, actually, none of that matters now. We're gonna continue with the story, right? So, knowing that, but trying to disregard that they do that, to me, knowing that there's only 16 episodes, I feel like this has to be working towards a showdown between Ryan and Volchek. And that's the part that I'm not going to look at your faces for.
Okay.
I don't see how they can just sweep that under the rug.
Okay, so Volchuk will come back, is what you're predicting.
Volchek will come back. I think he should come back. I didn't really love him, but at this point, it's like they've chosen their bed and they need to lie in it, kind of a thing.
Like, how could they not? Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Getting rid of Trey so quickly. Come on. The first rule of a bad guy is you don't kill the bad guy. You don't get rid of the bad guy. You can't, because then the story is over, right? So
Right.
we can't have a new bad guy because there's no Marissa. Right? On all of the bad guys have been the bad guys against Marissa because Ryan is our hero, right? Seth is our sidekick. So they got to deal with Volchek. If they don't, I'm going to throw my laptop across the room.
Sure.
If it's just like Volchek died off screen and we never hear from him again. So him, maybe it'd be funny if Chili came back, but he had a totally different personality. He's like, I don't know. I would like to see Matt come back.
Matt Ramsey. You want Matt Ramsey back?
I would like to see Matt come back to help deal with the Newport fallout and burn down.
What about Taylor? What about Kaitlin? And we can tie in Neil Roberts, who has always existed but had more of a role.
Neil
season.
Roberts is a good always existed, right?
Yeah. Yes, right.
Neil Roberts is so boring. Like he's just a nice guy, and I kept waiting all season for it to fall apart. But it's like, nah, he's just a nice guy. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. I don't ever need to see that guy again. Taylor, it would be sick if Taylor died next season.
Taylor. Oh, okay.
I don't know. She ate bad food and dies of food poisoning, or she's pushed off a cliff, or
they've already done a cliff. They can't do a cliff again.
Drowns surfing.
She's a surfer now. Let's add that.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Who cares? She's an astronaut. Okay, guys, I'm going to space camp. Like
Taylor would actually go to space camp.
Yeah, but no, I would like it for it to just return to the main characters, deal with the Newport fallout, deal with Jimmy coming back to deal with Marissa's death, and now this new doctor guy. Maybe the loan sharks come back, and that all has to be dealt with. And then I would, Sorry, you asked me about new characters, and I launched into everything I wanted to see.
No, that's good. That's good.
Kaitlin, I never need to see her again. I don't want to see her. Don't even show up at the funeral, Kaitlin.
Do you think we're getting a funeral? Like, do you think people will come back to town?
Marissa Cooper?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
The entire town should shut down. The Clam Shack or whatever.
Hey, that's Crab Shack.
The Crab Shack should be like closed permanently due to
Right.
death of Marissa Cooper. If there's not a funeral, another time I'm going to throw my laptop. If I see Ryan and Seth walking into the kitchen wearing suits with loose fitted ties as their heads are hung low, referencing a funeral that we don't see, I'm going to lose my mind.
Okay. I want to talk about Charlotte Morgan, who makes an appearance in episode 1. She was the one that Kirsten met in rehab. So how did we feel about her? Because she is the one who kind of drove the Kirsten storyline, and then Kirsten's story just disintegrates.
Disintegrates a bit, yeah. We don't need her at all. It's a really strange deviation. It does give Julie and Kirsten something to kind of really unite over. Because I think Kirsten's able to trust Julie after the whole thing, and then they start a new business.
Right.
I knew right away that there was something off with this woman. I thought that she either was trying to steal Kirsten from Sandy romantically. I thought that was the direction they were going to go. Or after like the second time we see her in my notes, I was like, this woman's a serial killer.
Yeah.
And she's like, come to my cabin in the woods.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sorry, just the line when she's like, oh, it's my dad's cabin. He's kind of a security freak. Meanwhile, there's just one key to the front door. It's like a locked door means you're a security freak. That's what everyone does every day.
I liked her. And we got a very iconic line because of her from Julie Cooper. This town's only big enough for one manipulative bitch. That's
right.
Amazing.
It's
so good.
It's so good.
And
yes.
She was really good. She was good at playing like very manipulative. Like she knew what role she had to as a con artist, and she played the role really well. And she put doubts in Kirsten's head, knew how to play her, I thought she was a good villain.
Yeah, I thought she was a great villain too.
I don't know. I would have liked for her to either not existed or existed longer. Like again, you can't get rid of the bad guys. There's a revolving door of bad guys, and it's like we got rid of Caleb Nickel, who I guess was like the real thorn in like everyone's side at all times, and we got rid of him too. So we need people to stick around. People have to stick around.
Okay. If we didn't do Charlotte, what would you like to have seen with Kirsten? Because she's in rehab. Does she just stay there and then there's no?
No, I can tell you, I would have liked for Kirsten to just graduate rehab.
Graduate rehab. Uh-huh.
I think that's what you say, right?
I'm not sure.
Complete rehab.
Mm-hmm.
Go home and spend time with Seth and Ryan, which is some of the best stuff in the show.
Yeah.
Because she's not Sandy, and Sandy is, good and capable, and not that Kirsten isn't capable, but Sandy's like, yeah, sure, I'll go talk to the cops because I'm a lawyer, or you know what I mean? He's able to help, but Kirsten is where they're able to reflect and express what is happening and what they're going through, and she gives the lovely advice, and you get the tearjerker. Like when her and Seth start hanging out, I think I put in my notes, I was like, I've been waiting all season for this.
Yeah.
Why can we not have this?
Right.
Because Kirsten's off with a woman who's scheming to, I don't need that. Give us the family together.
Go back to the foundation, right? Let's go back to the basics.
To the foundation. Go back to the basics.
Yeah.
Seth and Kirsten stuff always works. Kirsten and Ryan stuff always works. And again, the whole thing with what's her name? Abby, cousin
Sadie?
Cousin Sadie. We're like, well, how can we isolate Ryan Moore into a storyline that's going nowhere? Oh, we got to get child support for Johnny. Get out of town.
Yeah.
They did.
Give the core four something to work towards together. The Free Marissa stuff ruled. All that was great. Mike's wearing his Free Marissa shirt.
We got it, Seth. If we got you,
I'm wearing my heavyweight shirt that
I
Michelle
see
made
that.
Me.
Nice. Awesome. Glad to see
Yeah, I
it.
would wear a free Marissa shirt for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other characters that I missed that you wanted to talk about? Like we had Chloe who worked with Dawn when
Who's
Ryan
Dawn?
goes off. Dawn is Ryan's mother.
Oh, oh my God, Chloe, what was that? What
Do we
was
need to talk
that?
about her? It's up to you guys. I didn't have her on my list, but it's up to you.
Is she coming back next season, Seth? Do you think Ryan does Ryan need a lot? Like, do you see this being a happy ending for Ryan? Like, do you think Ryan's going to end up with someone? What are your
Here's the thing. I can't correctly predict that because in my mind, this show should end in near tragedy or at least bittersweet. End game for me for this show is the Cohen family leaves the OC. I think that Sandy should take a job somewhere else. Seth and Ryan go to school in New York. They all move to New York. They leave behind all of this nonsense. And it's the catalyst of Ryan coming into their lives that like helps shake everything up. And they're like, this place is evil and toxic and we need to leave. To me, that's how the show ends.
Okay.
And they fade in California by Phantom Planet, and then that fades out, and you start to hear New York, New York.
That's great. That's great.
Well, there was supposed to be a spinoff with like Gossip Girl. Like there was supposed to be a crossover with Gossip Girl.
Ooh, interesting.
I don't know if you remember this, Mike. They were trying to do spinoffs of Summer goes to fashion school, and then also Caitlin's at college. I think it was called like Pretty Little Things or Pretty Little something.
Ew.
Not Pretty Little Liars, but it was something like Pretty something. And it did not take, obviously.
Ew, I don't like that title.
Well, I very much could be misspeaking here, but it was something pretty something.
Yeah, they wanted, yes, those were two possible spinoffs they were.
Well, Summer, I would love to see more of Summer. So yeah, in season 4, hopefully Summer is in it way, way more. If I can't look at your faces. Oh my God, please, God, please tell me that Summer is the star of season 4 because if not, I'm going to be so mad. Oh God.
I know we do this show in the summer, but like I would love if we just did season 4 sooner than later. It's 16 episodes.
There are two.
This could
really
be a
good.
winter project.
There are 2 really good episodes in season 4. Probably like some of my top of the whole series. There's 2 that are really good.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mike, for joining us.
Thank you. I have just one last thing. I've spent the last 45 minutes-ish talking to the 2 of you, but now I kind of want to talk to you, the listener, who can hear me. I'm in your ear right now.
Whoa.
The reason why I want to talk to you is because I want you guys to know if you're enjoying this show, there's things you can do. You can go on to patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast and you can see what they do there. You can consider supporting the network. They'll get some cool perks like a Discord chat that's off the chains. I don't know. Do people still say off the chains? Do cool cats still say that? I don't know. You can join and let me know. Some of you are probably thinking, well, I can't really afford to, financial things are tight. Well, good thing for you is there's a way you can support the network that's free. And how? Well, you can right now, wherever you're listening on whatever podcast platform, you can pause this or finish whatever, but you consider leaving you can rate and review, go on Apple Podcasts. You can leave a nice little review. This allows the network to be seen to other people, helps it grow. Other people can find it. So you can leave a nice little comment like, hey, Seth and Michelle are awesome. I like what Seth says, all his details. And you can leave an emoji at the end, like, I don't know, an orange to say that you heard it from the OC. Yeah. So consider doing that. It does, like I said, it helps the network grow. It becomes more visible. Actually, how I found Michelle's original podcast on the OC was back in 2018. I got a coworker to watch the OC for the first time. And that just renewed my obsession with it. And I opened up Spotify and searched the OC and I found Let's Talk OC. And they were only 3 episodes in. And I started listening and I messaged their account right on Instagram. And that was in 2018. Now we're in 2025 and I'm still a loyal supporter. And they're talking about the OC. So definitely leaving reviews, that makes the show more visible, and it does catch people's eye. And that's how you can help support. And so they
Wow.
can continue making awesome stuff like this. And we can continue with season 4. How upset would you feel if this just canceled and there was no season 4 of the OC because there wasn't support enough and they couldn't do it? And then Seth will never know what happened in season 4. You guys would never hear, and guys would never hear Seth's thoughts on season 4. That would be a travesty. So
That's true. That
there you go.
that would be the
true.
real
I
cliffhanger.
think I said to Seth, like, if you're not interested in watching season 3, I'll just tell you what happens. I
Right,
don't
right.
want you to sit through this. But now we're so close to the end. You do. That's no longer an option. You do have to finish the show.
Well, thank you, Mike, for those wonderful commercials and ways that people can help. And we appreciate you and all of your help and support. And
Yes, thank you, Mike.
your friendship has been one of the, shall I say, during a very troubled production, you have been one of the shining lights for Michelle and I. That's true. You are the Taylor Townsend of movie friends.
That's perfect. That's who I wanted to be. Thank you, Seth. That made it awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
But
so
you know
much.
what? I'm going to piggyback on what Mike said, and I'm just going to say it. If we don't get some reviews that say that you've listened to these episodes, I'm not doing season 4. I'm drawing a line in the sand. All right. We got to get
Guys,
some feedback.
please
or
get
else-
reviews. Please make my OC heart happy. Seth forces me to watch movies all the time. This is all I have, okay? This is all I have. So please leave us a review and support if you can. But thank you for listening. Mike, thank you again. Thank you,
Mike.
Seth.
Yes. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for listening to the OC20, a Movie Friends miniseries produced by Michelle Rubenstein and Seth Vargas. If you like what you just heard, please consider subscribing and leaving us a review. For more information about the show and what else we do, you can check out our website at moviefriendspodcast.com.